Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. We are talking about resonance today. And I'm not talking about music.
Ooh.
Jason just looked at me like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Well, you're not talking about music. I know what you're not talking about.
Okay, good. We're talking about vibing with people. Maybe that's a
Nice.
simpler term. Have you ever met someone and you're like, you know what? I felt their vibe.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that?
Yeah, it's almost like you fit. Like, I feel that with you.
I feel that with you. And I also know that when we decided, we hit a point where we looked at each other and it was almost like two roads diverge in a yellow wood.
That's right.
And though I shall not travel both. And we looked at each other and we were like, okay, this is that point. This is a point for us. And we either need to grow together or we're not going to vibe anymore.
Yeah. And we kind of weren't vibing for a while.
Yeah.
Like we were like there were touch points,
Yeah.
but it was like I was not acknowledging any of my emotions. And that was one thing that you were like, we really need to be resonating in our emotions. We need to be connecting here. Like this is one of the mainstays of what we need right now. And you'd been on a growth track for years at that point, and I had been just out there doing.
Yeah, you were out there working harder, stronger, faster.
I was reading, I was going to personal development things, but I wasn't actively engaged in thinking differently. I was taking all that outside information in and just kind of letting it work within my system instead of, that sounds weird because it wasn't really working in my system because my system was kind of broken at the time.
Yeah, you were just... Well, you were kind of just taking it in, but you weren't implementing it. You weren't doing the work internally.
I wasn't doing it internally. I was trying to push the work externally. Like, yeah.
You were still in the...
I was applying
You
it.
were still applying it to, well, how come my boss isn't figuring this out?
Right.
How come, he's making me read this, but he's not doing it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you were still...
I was applying the things, but I still wasn't able to change my way of thinking. So I wasn't resonating with the material.
All right, we're getting a little sidetracked, but what we're trying to say is sometimes you just vibe with people. And it's called resonance. There is a term for this. It's called resonance. And in relationships, in particular, there is resonance.
Yeah, and sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have it great with people. Like I feel like Mike and Hugh and I, my best friends from high school.
Those are his best friends from high school. He acts like we all know exactly who he's talking about.
So my best friends from high school, I feel like we have a resonance that just lives on, and it picks up whenever we have a chance to talk to each other or whenever we have a chance to see each other.
Well, because you guys share the same fabric DNA.
Yeah. It's a trust. It's an alignment. It's an emotional connection. It's all these things that really just kind of fit together to say, yeah, we vibe together.
And you've all kind of grown in the same stages of life at the same time. Now, where there feels like you can get out of alignment is when somebody has an exponential growth spurt, and all of a sudden they've reached a whole different stage of life, and their peers or their family or their friends are
still stuck in where they used to
thinking,
be.
who is this person?
Who's this new person?
This isn't who I
grew up with, or
exactly.
This isn't the person that I was resonating with.
Yes.
I need to bring them back into my vibration. And when you've gone through that growth spurt, and this isn't a height growth spurt, this is personal growth, like personal development. So when you're outside of that resonance area, they want to bring you back in to their comfort zone.
Yes.
And that's a really challenging thing because it feels So when we went through we're constantly going through a growth spurt,
Of course. Always.
but it's a
But we're doing it together.
right. And that's
what's
big.
important.
And I work with a lot of coaches. Well, I've talked to a lot of coaches that one person in the family is doing all this inner work and all this personal growth. And the other person was just like I was, going out there and just trying to make things happen and be the doer. And the person going through all the personal growth is saying, hey, you're still spinning your wheels. You're not growing at my rate. And I really want you to just kind of get on board.
Well, we found that at the Joe Dispenza retreat. Do you remember when we had breakfast with, I believe his name was Jeff, and he was saying,
Oh, yeah.
He was saying that he's doing all this internal work and he's really just figuring himself out and really coming into himself.
Yeah.
As he turns 50 this year. And he's also noticing that it's not the same with his partner.
Yeah.
And so he's actually, he was contemplating.
Trying to figure all that out.
Yeah, trying to figure out maybe it's time for a change.
Because you want the people in your life to grow with you, but not everybody's ready for it. And not everybody hits that moment of something needs to change, because we're kind of trained in this good is enough. And it's good enough. Don't fix what's not broken. And you don't realize how broken it is until you're not really living in it.
That's so good. I feel like there's two motivators in life, and it is we're motivated by pain and we're motivated by pleasure. And so when we are in that zone of, things are pretty good.
Things aren't that bad.
Yeah, then we kind of just start sliding by.
Yeah, we'll spend a lot of time and
start
energy
coasting,
justifying that.
That becomes our comfort zone.
When we talk about fighting for our limitations, I think that's one of them, is we fight for that mediocrity.
Oh, and also I know for me, I have this, it's actually become a limiting belief. And the limiting belief is I should just be grateful. I should just be grateful for what I have. Now,
whatever it is.
Yeah, I've got it pretty good. I should just be grateful. So it's almost tapping me out from wanting more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's putting a lid on it.
It's saying, I'm so grateful for this. Why would I want more?
I should just be satisfied with
There's a difference.
Almost like I should feel guilty for even wanting more.
See, I just expect more. I'm so grateful. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
That's a man for you. That's what that is.
That's a man. That's a man. That's a mighty fine man. I'll take it.
Okay, well, give us the exact definition of.
I just want to put it in layman's terms.
Okay, put it in layman's terms.
Resonance is feeling in harmony with.
Okay.
Or a deep emotional experience with.
Yeah.
So it's something that really just aligns with you, aligns with your soul, aligns with your feelings, aligns with kind of where you're going in life. I like to think of it as people you want on the party bus with you, people that you want because you know where you are.
You use that party bus quite a bit.
I know. Well, because I feel like once you find your people and you know everyone's on the same path together, it turns into a very resonant group of people that are lifting each other up, supporting each other, trusting each other. It doesn't mean there's not conflict, but it also means that there's healthy conflict resolution. So it's more of a discussion as opposed to a conflict. It's just difference of perspective because we all view life through different set of eyes, different viewpoints. So we can have differences of opinion. We can have differences of what we're looking for in life, and then but still all be heading in the same direction.
It's very strange that we're bringing this up this morning because we're actually hopping on a plane today to head for a wedding. And at this wedding, we're going to see some people that we saw not too long ago. And I actually didn't vibe with a couple of these people, and my body is actually, this morning, it is tensing up. I actually have a migraine headache. I have felt nauseated. I haven't been able to sleep all night long. And it's almost like my body is preparing to...
For resistance of the resonance.
Yes, because I don't feel like I am in resonance. And when you say resonance, it's I feel like I'm not resonating with these people. That's where the word comes from.
So when you feel like that, then your body starts thinking, if it's not resonating with my internal vibration, with my harmonious feeling, then it's going to feel like sandpaper. Like,
yes.
So your body starts preparing for that experience and the physical.
No, it's almost like my body is saying, you know what? I'm going to make it so that you can't go.
Right. You're having this visceral reaction to all these emotions and feelings from the last experience.
Yes.
Instead of, which is already changing your resonance.
Yeah. And so now I literally... I like all night long, I tried meditating. I kept saying, okay, just you think positive. I tried every tool and we have a bunch of them.
We got a bunch of tools.
I was writing. I've been doing gratitude journaling this morning. I've been doing everything I can to put myself in the best clear mind, to clear my energy, to show up the best that I can. And for some reason, my shoulders they're like on fire right now. It's like my emotions are coming out of the back of my neck.
So
it's crazy.
It happens. And it happens, I think, to everyone. And sometimes we don't even realize it because when you're not so in touch with your feelings, your body's just releasing these chemicals. And most people are used to staying in that in a high stress induced form, like state, and they don't even know what like a good baseline is, like a good normal low stress, low anxiety, high vibration. So when you get in that and you've been deeply involved with your feelings, sometimes we just have to say, okay, I'm going to pause, get very present, and set my vibration, like set my resonance. And I'm going to be me.
And then let people vibe to me.
Yes. And not bring the past forward, not expect them to act a certain way.
What if they can't handle my vibe?
Some people can't. I mean, they're happy with the status quo. I mean, and that's okay for them if they're not ready. But I would submit that in a family type situation, if you have a loving family, well, we're going to be around so many people. And if we're vibing with certain people, we're going to vibe with those people. And if we're not, then it's a wedding. So we're going to be at a celebration of love.
That's true.
So if we can get on the resonance vibe of love.
Love is always the frequency that I want to be on.
Right. And
it's the highest.
Yeah. So love kind of conquers all.
Okay.
So we'll just
I think I've heard that before. That should be a song.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
And the strongest of these is
that
love.
is the best advice, I think. Love conquers all. Get on the resonance of the love frequency.
Yeah. And lean into each other when you need help staying on the frequency.
Oh, dear. Okay. All right. Resonance. I think I might need to dive into this a little bit more, but I am going to really pay attention to what I bring and how I show up, because that is in my control.
Amen. And you're good at that.
And I can always tap into love.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. We love you. Have
Yes,
a great day, guys. Start living lucky. Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.